Well, hello again, and welcome to Roland's Reviews. We are back with our very distinguished guest, Miss Prosperity. We're so glad to have her back on the channel again. She is my hero. She is putting in the work, trying to change because it is time for a new Chicago, and she's just the person to get it going. So, of course, Blackson's here. As you come into the chat room, everyone, go ahead and hit the like button. How are you doing, Miss Prosperity?
I'm living the dream, but all is well.
All is well. All is well. Sounds wonderful to me. Blackson, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are my sisters, Lynn and Prosperity? How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
We're trying to make it.
Yep.
Prosperity, you know, you have that Chicago hood. I got these Chicago folks in the chat
Hey,
section.
Chicago.
Oh my goodness, this is wonderful. Go ahead, folks, as you enter the chat, hit the like button. If you're enjoying this content, hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment. I will do the roll call momentarily. Subscribe button. Okay, I hear some lag.
That's me. Give me a second.
Okay. All right. Look at the title. Okay, we're clear. Okay. Miss Prosperity has things under control over there. And so there's several of you here. If you'd like me to call your name during roll call, just say hello, send us an emoji, whatever. We don't care. We're glad you're here. Now, it is roll call time. I can only call the names that I see, folks, even though there's several people here. The only names I can see are Chubbs and Jesse and CJ Parks. How are you? Chicago Hood in the house. Good afternoon. Chicago says, I'm working, but will be listening as time permits. Love and prayers to everyone. Love and prayers to you as well, Chicago Hood. Florida, of course, who runs this channel. How you doing, love? Good afternoon to you as well.
My heroette.
Yes, Florida. Oh my God. She runs this channel. Cha-Cha is here and Laura. We're glad all of you are here. And we're here. Let's look at this title. Chicago resident speaks out against Brandon Johnson and the Democrats. Go Red Chicago. So, as we've mentioned, yes, we have Trump in the White House. Yes, we have the Senate and the House. The work is not done. There's still a lot of work that needs to be conducted. Miss Prosperity is still attending the city council meetings. She is still standing on business. She is not letting Mayor Brandon Johnson or city council just run totally roughshod over the citizens of Chicago. Thank God. How you doing, Ken? And okay, Douglas General McGuire address. Okay, Ken, thank you for stopping in. Ruby's here. Hello, how you doing, everyone? Hit the like button. So, Miss Prosperity, tell us. We're all excited again about the election. Tell us, what are you working on now? How do you feel about the election results? Just talk to us, sister. Talk to us.
Yay, God did it. God did it. Okay. I couldn't do anything without God leading me down the path that I'm going down, and the support that God has sent in my life with the people that are on board with me as well.
Yep.
We are citizens. We're not what you'll call grassroots people or so forth. We're citizens that's just standing on the behalf of others. And because when you're there for you, you're there for others in most cases.
Right.
Now, my case, I started off when I started seeing that this illegal thing started blasting into the city of Chicago. And I couldn't sit back. So I saw some folks going down there, then it started getting larger and larger. So I actually went back into history of time and saw that I was down there at the beginning of November of last year. I thought it was the end, but according to some pictures that I've come across, some videos and so forth, it was November around the first part.
Wow.
And so now it's been a year. It's been a year going in and at this.
Right. As a result of you putting in the work, and of course, this is probably your fourth time on the program, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably
third or fourth.
Count on one hand. Not like Blackson that live on the show.
Yeah, permanent. Oh yeah, you got to keep Blackson. He keeps you straight.
And I enjoy it too.
Oh yeah, we're always glad to have you. And you always, as busy as you are, you always drop in the live. And please, those of you who are here, because we've had a lot of new people subscribing to the channel the last few days, please, Miss Prosperity, go ahead, drop your channel link. Mr. Blackson, go ahead, drop your channel link.
Okay.
So if you people, everyone in the comment section, if you are enjoying this content, definitely check out Prosperity's channel. Definitely check out Blackson's channel. We're singing the same song, folks. And that is what it is. It says, okay. Thank you. Prosperity just dropped her channel link. If you have not, please go ahead and sub her up. So and we have some videos. Take who?
Take those hearts.
I'm sending hearts. Take the hearts. Yes. I'm sending some hearts too. All right. And so yeah, we have some video clips to share with you. And again, we're going to be talking to Miss Prosperity because it is not over, folks. It is definitely not over. She is still fighting for her rights, for the rights of Chicago citizens. And that's the one good thing that you'll learn for all of you who are new here. If you go back and look at some of the other videos with Miss Prosperity, she's not just fighting for her livelihood. She's fighting for everyone involved. And so that's important as well, folks. And again, she's actually there at the city council meetings. How you doing, Butterfly Nest? Yes, Doreen said recall Brandon Johnson. Yes. So I'm going to share this video. And again, this is her channel. Those of you just coming in, please go and sub to her channel. You get what's going on every time there's a city council meeting and she's there. This is not secondhand information. It's firsthand because she's actually there. So you don't have to worry about fake news. All right, so let's see what she said. No. So this is the faith fight for Trump in Chicago. So let's see what she's talking about here.
Each speaker has 5 minutes to speak and will be advised by a time. Keep her when 30 seconds remain. Speakers are not allowed to cede or yield their time to any other person. There shall be a cumulative limit of 60 minutes available for public comment. If requested by the chairperson and approved by majority vote of the board,
here.
The time allocated.
We want to hear where she's actually talking. There we go.
Okay, thank you. The purpose that I came down here for is because of the issues that were to be addressed today with the voting and how it impacts a lot of us citizens from both perspectives. I know there's cases that are going against Trump to be off the ballot and also as Biden to be off the ballot. But this is where I feel, and many of our citizens feel that it's an infringement on our civil rights, basically citizens' rights, and suppression of freedom of speech for the First Amendment as well as the 15th Amendment. And I understand that there's going to be a vote taken on, I believe, January 30th or so forth. And I just wanted to bring some of the things before you all, just so that before you make your decision on removing any of the presidents off of the ballot, that we just feel, many of us citizens feel that if you start doing that, then that set of precedents for being able to go against anyone who has a dislike for anyone who is running for a position in the government.
So, Miss Prosperity, explain to us, and I'm going to let this continue to play, but explain to us what your goal was at this particular meeting.
Okay, so this meeting was designed to determine if they were going to remove Trump off the ballot, off the voting ballot for Illinois.
What?
Yes.
Yep.
It was a judge who had passed.
Wow.
Yes.
Jesse had the same trouble in Colorado. Oh, man, what?
Yes. Yes. This was in the month of January of this year that they wanted to remove Trump off the ballot. Trump, there were several people that had filed lawsuits with the Illinois Voters Board to have Trump removed. So my husband and I went down there to that corporate office. They have one here in Chicago in the downtown area, and they have one in Springfield, Illinois. And ironically, I'm the only one there to fight for Trump to stay on the ballot.
Everyone see that? She's the only one there.
Right. And you fighting for their rights to vote, like to choose. That's what, damn, that they don't understand. That is a slap in the face. That is a, man.
Yep.
Dang.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's not even about Trump. It's about your right to choose who you want to choose.
Your right to choose. Exactly. Yeah. Oh my God. Dang. All right, here we go.
And some of the things that I wanted to bring up as well is I want to go back to voting rights. And also from the point in time where we'll talk about the 15th Amendment, the right to vote. And based on race, color, or previous condition of servitude. And if we have a particular person that is running for a position and that is removed from them, then that feels like that takes away our voice as well for freedom of speech. And I want to go back to where the Library of Congress has spoken about this and had this documented that as of the House of Representatives, there were 144 Republicans that voted to approve the 15th Amendment with 0 Democrats that did not approve that amendment.
So again, as we've been saying, she has receipts. She does her research. She does not go into these meetings half-cocked.
Right.
And this is what you have to do when you're dealing with these people. Okay. And I've been talking on the phone with Prosperity. She knows, like I know, they don't want to be bothered, but when she goes in there talking intelligently and she has receipts, they have to listen. They have to. Okay, and we're going to listen to a little more of this because I have some other clips because we have so many new people, Prosperity, on the channel. I want them to know you stand on business and you have been in the fight for a really long time.
Yes, pulled in, not by choice.
Right. Okay, here we go.
Also, with the Senate, 33 Republicans that did against 0 Democrats that did. And we know that Chicago is primarily a Democratic city. But we also have a whole state of Illinois that is dependent upon Chicago as well, that makes those decisions of what this state is going to do in regards to our voting rights and who is going to potentially be presidential in office. Also, another thing about that is with Trump being disqualified, there's potentially a mass ballot purge where this can now go to the U.S. House. So we don't want the House making a decision on our rights. We want the citizens to be able to make a decision on our rights. So that's what, therefore, that's what I'm coming down here to speak about, and I'm just gonna not go through everything that I have here, but some sources that I have gotten information from, being DW, NPR, Newsweek, in regards to inciting insurrection is not a treason. And MSN judge that had ruled that the state insurrection, but can't be disqualified from the 2024 ballot per the Colorado judge, even though he feels that Trump did some insurrection, but cannot be disqualified.
Time out.
Time out. Yes, ma'am. Time out. Gotcha.
Miss Prosperity, why them two white ladies just turned red when you said that? Did you see that? They just turned red. Look at them two on the right.
Oh yeah, it was on. The more they were turning.
Yeah, they were turning red.
Not only that, you had people on those screens that were down in Springfield, Illinois, that were looking as well. So I had all these eyes on me while I'm talking all these points about what is actually happening in Colorado. Right. And how that went. So that's why I brought that up, so that they were aware that what's going on in Colorado, we don't want that here.
Right. Shout out to Jesse. He's in the chat. Shout out to Jesse. Yeah.
Hey, Jesse.
Oh, wow.
So why they don't see that these are y'all rights on the line? It's not even about Trump. They so Trump deranged that they not seeing that they hurting. They're disrespecting you guys with this nonsense.
Exactly. And that's why I had to get down there.
Wow. Okay. I'll play some more of this.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
I just wanted to see if Miss Prosperity saw the women. I mean, they were turning red. They were just
every time I'm talking, they don't want to hear it. Hey, they don't want to hear what she has to say because they know, oh God, not her again. She has receipts.
Well, actually, this was the first time I went to this one.
This was the first one.
Yeah, this is the Voters Board, Illinois Voters Board, and I've never been there. And they give you only 5 minutes to speak, which we only get 3 at City Hall. And that man that's sitting all the way to the back on the screen, I'm going to tell you a little bit about that afterwards, but go ahead.
Okay. All right. I'll play some more of this and then we'll get the backstory. Okay.
CNBC, acquitted by Senate in second impeachment trial. So when I go to talk about Trump and these incitements and insurrections, I also wanted to go back to where it spoke about the representatives in Congress for the 3rd section of the 14th Amendment. And in that section, when I went to the Congress page, it says no person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of the president and vice president. So as many of these stories that are going around in the United States that President Trump was doing an insurrection and incitement and so forth, I just needed to make sure that I'm clear on this 3rd section that a lot of these cases are basing it on, that it says the elector of the president and vice president.
Okay, yeah.
They were mad. Right. They were mad at Prosperity. Because you don't even know, there's nothing but Democrats up in there.
She is surrounded by the enemy.
Yeah, surrounded. Yeah.
Woo! Did you feel the knives and the daggers?
Oh yeah, but you know, I always say, anytime I'm going into something, let God be first. No fear here. Go in there like you fighting the war, and you know that you're gonna come out winning because God is with you. So,
goodness,
as this part is pretty much about over with, even though it goes up to about 6 minutes, just as a testament to that, you're only allowed 5 minutes in this location. Or having a public speaking, but they allow me to continue on. So it could have gone longer.
Right.
Because they knew I was spewing those facts against them.
Of course.
But at the end, you'll find that the news had stated that they had passed it pretty much unanimously, that Trump was going to be on that ballot. So we had our opportunity to vote for Trump. Otherwise, they were talking about pulling them off, extracting them off. Now, let me tell you about that man that was sitting back there.
Yes.
He was one of the board members. And my husband and I was outside now doing my next craft of working with the homeless. And I was taking some video footage and talking to the homeless. And he came outside and he said that he basically said that you did a great job up in there. And I'm like, oh, well, thank you. But my husband recognized him. I didn't, because when you're up there speaking, it's more like you're trying not to too much look in the face to get off track, but then you're looking around trying to make sure you're contacting everybody to make them feel inclusive in that conversation or in that speech.
That's right.
So I didn't recognize him until after the fact. My husband said, that's one of the judges that was sitting up there.
Whoa.
And then I went to look him up and saw that he's in law. He was a board judge, and in law, he's a lawyer. Okay. And he said that, however he worded, I can't say the exact words right now, but he said that pretty much that was great. That what you spoke up there was great. And he was the one that delivered the response of the results that said that we're allowing Trump to stay on the
oh, wow.
Absolutely. But my question was, I told many people about that meeting that day. Now, don't know what happened, but I just know I had to show up because
no one else.
No one did. Yeah, if no one, Trump wouldn't even been on the ballot, possibly.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
They would have just went on and passed it. But because that was being recorded, they couldn't just throw that out like as if it never happened.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Woo. I told you. This lady right here, she stands on business. I tried to tell that because we have a lot of new people. Now you see what I was telling you. If you're enjoying this content, folks, hit that like button. Share this out on Truth Social, Facebook, X, whatever form of social media that you possess. And I also, Miss Prosperity, you told me you were going to tell us about the now we know you won so far as the $300 million property tax increase, but there's also right now you're fighting against the $150 million property tax increase. So I think, and let's be clear. We know this is a migrant tax. Yeah. I've talked to Prosperity. I've talked to Blackson. We know what this is about. When you can't pay your property taxes, they take your property.
That is correct.
Then you're out, right?
Exactly.
And then these investors come in. We know who's going to be living there, migrants. No, everyone knows what they're doing here. So let me show you this short clip. We know what they're doing.
Yeah, migrant tax. Yeah. Okay.
All right, here we go. This one's nice and short. Here we go.
Citizens, homeowners and renters
said
no to property tax increase
or
yes to aldermen voted out of office, whether it is $300 million or $150 million. We said no to the sanctuary city tax hike to pay for a legal's lifestyle. Chicago is the highest tax-paying county, and we are fed up. No means no. Here is the list of 14 aldermen support.
This is what I was telling you before about Prosperity. She has receipts and she gives you all the information you need to contact these people who are making these decisions. Prosperity, props out to you. So people don't have an excuse to sit back. Well, I didn't know who to contact. Wrong answer. On her videos, she'll have links. She'll have names. There's Prosperity. Are there any excuses?
No.
Right. And CJ Park said, you're doing God's, I think it was CJ Park said, you're doing God's work.
Amen, CJ, because that's exactly what I claim.
Yes, she is. And CJ's also said Prosperity is awesome. She talks so eloquently. She knows the fact. Yes, she has. When you have receipts and you're speaking eloquently, they're going to sit there. If looks could kill, you would die, but they can't. Hey, there's nothing they can do. How you doing, Sergeant? Salute to you as well, Patriot. CJ said Prosperity's videos need to be shown and taught in schools. Truth bomb.
True. Exactly.
Thank you so much, CJ.
Oh my God. Yeah, CJ said you're part of God's plan. You're a warrior for God. And who can disagree? I can't.
Wow.
I cannot.
CJ got vision.
Yes. So this, like I said, you know, some people are just lazy. They lay around and all their excuse is always, well, I didn't know what to do. Mm-hmm. Again, if you don't know who your alderman is, or if you don't know what ward they're in, she gives phone numbers, she drops link. Look at this video, folks. Let me let this finish playing.
Supporting the citizens. Call your alderman if she is not on the list. See how.
And then she dropped the links below the video. So what's the excuse, folks? There are none. There are none. So Prosperity.
Yes.
Tell us. We're talking about now. I was talking to you earlier, and Blackson and I were talking. We're trying to figure out. Could you help us understand? Chicago flips red. Chicago goes red. Help us to understand. You know the difference. Let me stop sharing this so we're back up here. Between the organizations and where you are. In reference to those, because it's a lot of people are trying to figure out what's what. Hit the like button, folks. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, I think some people still trying to figure it out too, but keeping it 100.
100.
Chicago Red is something that they said their organization.
Okay.
Chicago Flips is a name that is being used in order to promote, I guess, what they're doing. So people are supposedly coming together to do things. But there is a disconnect.
Okay.
So at that point, that's where I'm going to put that.
Okay.
From the aspect where I fall in at is that my thing was to support for us all to try to come together for the common cause. I don't care about your titles that you want to throw around.
Right.
I've been a long time Republican, where a lot of people have flipped or say they are going to be Republican.
Right.
So I've been Republicans basically since that early part of 2000s when I went to look back, and I remember going to the voters polls when they tell you we don't have Republican ballots. The Democratic ballots. And I said it's against the law, and you're gonna have to cough up that Republican ballot. Now, whether my vote got in there or not, and I select names, even if there weren't people who were running under Republican in Chicago.
Thank you.
I will find names to select.
Yep.
But many people are newer because of this illegal crisis that have occurred.
Okay.
Because before that, it's like slam bam of what are you doing, Republican? You by yourself, and you know what's wrong with you? You get all these attitudes. Hell, you family, friend, whoever. You get these attitudes. So I'm not even one getting ready to fake it out and say that this is not happening, because it is happening.
Yes, it is.
So those are entities of their own. My whole purpose was to come out and help, to be a help, not to try to run nothing, not to try to claim nothing.
Yeah.
But I was going to be in the background. Hey, I'll provide y'all the information.
Yeah.
And then do what's got to be done. But then if that's not where I'm standing and I'm led to do something more or different, that's what I'm doing. Because I see something that may be not being seen by others. And if I'm not in agreement with something either, I'm not going to continue to walk around and act like I am.
That's right.
So therefore, people doing their own things. But irregardless, the whole common cause was to help people to see how the Democratic Party was harming the community.
Right.
That was my own purpose that people need to see, because I've been riding on this platform for a long time as a Republican and conservative.
Right.
I know what benefits I got out of it. And I want people to have that too. I'm not trying to compete or be into some kind of race with anybody. That once you can have the things that I've become, because I got fruits that I bear that I can prove with receipts. So I'm not out here just talking about it. I'm living it.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
That's what I wanted for everybody else. And the reason why I went down my path of occupation is to help resolve problems and find opportunities, as I'm certified in the field.
Right. And you know what, Miss Prosperity, I'm glad you said what you said earlier, because I had a Trump delegate. This is before I ever, started conversing with you and you started coming on the show. The Trump delegate came on and she said the same thing you're saying, because sometimes we have people to drop in the chat and flippantly say, well, you voted for it. They don't know your background. You've been conservative several years. So you did not vote for it. You're still suffering as a result of other people's irresponsible voting. But I say that to say this. I'm glad you said that, because when the Trump delegate came on this show, and you two don't even know each other, because I think I asked and you said no. Adrian Wright.
No.
Yeah, I remember her.
You remember, she went to the Republican National Convention. She said the same thing that you're saying, because she would go and look, where's the Republican ballots?
Dang.
And if they had any, they were up under some cabinet or where. And she was like, you better get that stuff out here right now.
That's right.
I'm going to. So everyone throwing all of you that live in Chicago in the same boat. Well, you voted for it. No, you didn't. And you and a lot of other people didn't. You're just suffering. And Ruby said it, truth bomb. And I have to say this. Ruby said the motto in Chicago. What did she say? Oh my God, it's so truthful. Vote. Where is it, Ruby? Oh my God.
Vote early and vote often.
Vote early and vote often. And so it's all coming to light now. But Prosperity, how long? We don't know how long and how corrupt they've been. Chicago's been blue since the beginning of time. I did a video
over 6 decades.
a year ago about you haven't had a Republican mayor since 1931.
Mm-hmm.
So we know how corrupt Chicago is. How you doing, Roger?
Yeah, especially if you don't need voter ID.
Right. Yeah.
Those are the only states Democrats win where voter ID is not required.
And let me put it this way. Anything I've been posting, I've been saying about Brandon Johnson has been selected, not elected. Add the S to the elect. And now you got select. Put in place.
Yes. Black faces in high places.
Exactly.
And all, they're nothing but a detriment to the Black community. But you've been so indoctrinated and brainwashed to say, oh, and that's what that's what liberals always come up to me and we want to talk. Well, at least they put Black people in high places. I don't care if you are a Black face and you're here for my demise. Lose me with the color of your face. I don't care what color your face is.
Right. And see, that goes all against my motto, because I'm about resolving problems and finding opportunities.
Yep.
So if they're doing that, now that's a thorn in my side, because I'm watching them hurt others. And that's not what I play.
Race, gender, and identity politics is why we're in the condition that we're in now.
Gotta remove the color. Gotta get that color out.
Gotta get the color and forget the gender. Policy. CJ Parks, thank you for the super chat. Love. CJ said, Prosperity, have you been able to share and teach any of our youth about this? You are such an inspirational soul. Oh my God.
Actually, I do mentorship. Yes, CJ. I have done mentorship with young females and their teens, basically that were in high school. I would take time away from work that we were allowed to do that, like maybe once a month, but then I would go beyond that and go on the side and do it. Tell them you can call me at any time or so forth. And also when it was those days where you can bring your children to work. So I would bring my children to work and let them see the things that I was doing there as well, because I have a background in technology as well as analytics. So therefore, my thing is about sharing it out. Those 200 something videos that I've posted on YouTube is so that people can learn something from them. Where you cannot be personally or physically, that the videos will help to identify things where people can use help at. Also, I do have to get recertified. I just recertified, as a matter of fact, and that's part of it, where you have to train and help others and give back to the community. So absolutely.
Yeah.
Which is my joy.
Right. And Florida made a very valid point here. In Latin America, you have to show an ID to vote. Why not here?
Exactly.
Right. Yep.
We know why. Democrats are trying their best to keep that out, because they know all these dead people and all these people who are not American citizens, hey, they'll never win another election. So, folks, go ahead and hit that like button for me. I think we have about 60 people in here, about 45 likes.
I hit mine already.
Oh yeah. So, right, Ruby said the Democrats will never win again. And so, Miss Prosperity, I have that video, what we were talking about earlier, the link you sent me earlier. I was going to play some of that, but tell me, when will you be conversing again with Mayor Brandon Johnson? Now, you said something very poignant earlier. You said he was selected. Give us a little bit of that background, because everyone seems like they're so, oh my God, they're in shock about everything that he's doing, but you know the history and you're not shocked.
Yeah. I didn't even vote for him. And let's just keep this real. Because one of the things that people need to understand and know this, that anytime that someone is going into an office, you do your background check on them. Mm-hmm. You learn about their history. How were they? How were they prior to that role that they're trying to get into? Also, watch them. You're going to see a lot. You're going to learn a lot. Watch them more than once, twice, 3 times. You know, do a Lionel Richie on them.
All right.
Watch them and look and see. And then the biggest thing is discernment. Because a lot of things are hidden from the natural eyes, but you can see things in people when you're just around them. You can sense things, just like a woman can sense things about a man and that he's not being right. Okay, well, it's the same thing with people, that if you're feeling something that's just not right, you know, pay attention to it. Don't ignore it.
That's right.
But when it came to him, no. Absolutely hell no, and forgive me.
So you did you have that? You had a bad feeling. I mean,
it wasn't just the feeling. It was the vibe. It was the nonverbal. It was the verbal. It was a lot of that I picked up on. And then when I looked at those maps, see, I also do articles, journalism at articles at times too, news break. Wow. And they'll quote me as misinformation. I said, y'all got this messed up. I ain't the one talking misinformation. I slammed down the facts and I showed them the facts. They backed off and still didn't want to post my article. They dropped my article because anytime that a Democrat would write them and say, oh, this is fake news, this is misinformation, or so forth, they'll pull your article down. But then I challenged them, because that's who I am. I'm going to challenge. I sent them all the facts from multiple sources showing the maps. Oh, so are you saying that the government site is a lie? Are you saying that this? Now, I understand news, because I have called out news companies as well and said, hey, that was a misprint that you put in there. As a matter of fact, I got certified for free for misprint of errors that I caught. So that's just how much in the details I'm going to be. And Brandon Johnson did not come across as the person that should be in that role. Number one. Number two, they have color codes for each part of the map across the whole entire Illinois. Why was he as the less colored one?
He was at the less.
Yeah, his color had less colors on the map. So if you had less colors on the map, you were less likely chosen or elected.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but that's misinformation now. Don't get me wrong. Now let's go look at another map. Same thing. Less on the map. Your colors are real funny here. But then kind of overnight, you done went up the voter poll. What's up? Remember I told you I'm certified in analytics?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, watch those. And that's what happened. I said, oh, this is some more of that BS. I see what's going on.
At 29 cents.
Yeah, you don't need no voters ID. The CTU, y'all heard me call it out in that one meeting, that all the donations that were given to him and to the aldermen, 14 top ones that's getting paid to support the CTU.
Mm-hmm.
When the CTU come up there to the meetings, especially during that time when it was the sanctuary city emergency vote thing, oh, they didn't even have to go through a security check. Oh no, we got to go through security, but they don't.
Oh man,
they just come on off the elevator and walk on through.
Oh no.
Okay, but they could have had weapons. Who knew what they had? That's when you knew. And then I just came across a video just yesterday too, because I told you I went through the archives and I got a lot of stuff.
Woo!
And I saw one where I was having words with the police officer because they're allowing these people to go up with their items, and I'm like, what's up with that? And then you're gonna stop me for a clear bottle of water, but yet they got coffee cups and all that other stuff, and you can see through my bottle, and it's half drinking, it's half drunk. So it was a problem. So I just saw that on a video clip that I had. But no, when I saw him, I didn't know nothing about it. I never heard anything about him until it was time for that race, the mayoral's race. And of course, he was absolutely not the candidate that I have chosen. I wouldn't have even chosen him.
Wow. So you had from the beginning, and we've had conversation, you had a bad feeling from the get-go in reference to Brandon Johnson.
He was not the material.
Oh, wow. In your wildest dreams, did you feel that it would be this bad? Because remember now, you got Lori Lightfoot out. I mean,
I ain't over her either.
But I'm saying she was horrible, and people. But again, you got rid of one Democrat, and see, this is where people fail to realize: if you are able to successfully recall Brandon Johnson, if you put another Democrat in that seat, you may as well leave him there. They have the same agenda.
They just went tenfold worse, though. They went a little tenfold worse, though, because he's way over to the progressive. Way over. As a matter of fact, he's way over to the arrogant progressive, that he's King Kong, his will be done. And he gets up there. Oh, let me tell you about that.
Tell us. Tell us everything.
They had a nerve to have these preachers come in there and give these prayers over the meeting prior to starting them, as well as pledge allegiance to the flag while I'm standing on democratic territory. Yep. Okay. They don't believe in nothing they're saying. So unfortunately, I cannot participate in it because, one of the things that I don't hear, and they'll say in your son's name, maybe, but they don't say in Jesus' name. See, I'm a Christian, so I'm listening for that. If you're saying you are a Christian and you're having people to come up here and give prayers, but yet they're halfway giving prayers, Lord be with us, blah, 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 blah. A lot of it I really don't listen to because I don't have confidence or trust in a lot of the things that are going on there.
Right.
So I don't participate. It's just like going back into the biblical days and the old times where they said don't partake in eating meals with someone who's serving Satan, you know, all of that. Well, that's the way it appears to me when I'm there, is that this is evil territory. Because you see his actions just when he does these news presses. So when he's up there on that little, I call it his pulpit, his kingdom come area, that he puts on a front, because he really sometimes, a couple of times he has run out of there. I know with Dan Bolin, Dan Bolin whooped that up real good. Now, who is Dan Bolin? Dan Bolin is the one who's in charge of recallthisfall.com to recall the mayor. So that's another site that I would like people to go out there to and check that out, to recall this mayor, so we can make sure that we have a recall.
What's the name of it? I'll pull it up. What's the name of it?
Recallthisfall.com.
Okay.
Now, you get a lot of people in the chat saying, well, why don't y'all just recall him? Well, you could if it was in effect that you can do recalls, but it's not. See, LaShawn Ford, Representative LaShawn Ford, who used to be in our ward, I have asked him about this on a number of occasions as to what's going on with that bill. They call it the Laquan McDonald bill, but it's actually a number that's tied to that was supposed to be designed to recall our mayors. And we don't have that. That's it. That's the site. Yes. So I would like people to check that out, read through it, go down to the bottom. The one video that I have on my channel is basically the wording from Dan Bolin that's speaking about what's going on at its current status.
Okay, everyone see that? This is the recallthisfall.com to recall Chicago's mayor.
Correct.
Prosperity is on here dropping nothing but knowledge, because I have a lot of people on Prosperity to come drop into the chat. And so, again, people can't say they didn't know, because you tell people where to go, you drop the link. So this is the website, folks. The Committee for Chicago Mayoral Recall. So Prosperity can't do this alone. Go ahead, Blackson.
Yeah, I was just something Prosperity said earlier. She says that, you know, about discernment, and I'm just still amazed that she was the only one that caught them trying to take Trump off the ballot. So I'm just like,
she's the only one there. We saw the
well,
video.
I wasn't the only one that caught it, because I had been posting it. Okay. Thousands of people seen the post. But the point was, I'm even giving them dates when you can come down there. You know, people who are all around the Chicagoland area on those dates in advance. Right. So hopefully we can bombard this place out. Right. But you know what? That just goes to show it only takes God and one person to do his will. Right. That can actually make anything come to pass. Because my concern is that if no one went down there, then they just gonna pass this right on against us, because they already had several lawsuits to pull him off that ballot. There were a few against Biden, because the few that was against Biden was because they was trying to do Trump. So they said, well, if you're gonna do Trump, then we're gonna do Biden and try to get him off the ballot.
Okay. Yep. Wow, I didn't. Okay. We learned this here. Yeah.
That's some intel right there. That's some intel.
Yeah, that's definitely some intel. Jeez.
That was the reason why. So those folks that filed those lawsuits to get Biden off of there, I mean, still props to them. Still props. Because they were doing something to give them an alert to say, hey, you mess with him, we're going to mess with him.
Right.
You mess with our guy, we're going to mess with your guy.
Wow.
But here, they wouldn't make this public where we were able to attend those actual sessions, because we came down there for those court sessions. So I was kind of surprised, like, what's up with this? Isn't this public?
Right.
Right.
But they told us no. So the room was pretty full. So let me just clarify this. The room was really full prior to the public speech, but everybody had left out. The news media had left out. So now it's my husband and I. And they was asking, well, looks like everyone is gone. I said, no, I'm here.
I thought it was over. She said,
No.
Woo. She said, no.
I came down there prepared. Y'all saw that piece of paper in my hand?
Yep. Saw it.
Pages. I'm ready.
Right. So what was their reasoning again? They said insurrection, or because
yes.
he was
because of January 6th, they wanted to try to charge him against that he could not run for the president's position.
Oh, based on what charge again? I'm sorry.
On the that thing on January 6th.
January 6th, so-called insurrection.
Yeah, the insurrection.
Okay, but January 6th was charged with insurrection.
But they kept pushing it that he was.
Right. Yeah.
And that's why
pushing fake news.
Exactly. And that's why I had to call that out again when I was there.
She said, I'm here.
That's why I brought up the Colorado judge. I said, even the Colorado judge has said that it's not something that they can hold him back on, but he believes that he still committed it. So how can you do both?
Right. That's a contradiction.
Right.
Oh, wow.
That was the reason why. That was my disappointment. Now, granted, some of the folks I know, they doing elderly care and so forth. So look,
right.
I got it. I'll handle it. But those who can just normally come down to City Hall or wherever, I mean, I told everybody, and I'm just gonna keep it real, 100.
She's telling it. I love it. Drop that T. Drop it.
I put news break articles out, YouTube, and I wasn't a social media person. I didn't even care to be on social media. Yeah. I'm gonna keep that real. But I got on ever since this illegal migrant stuff had occurred.
Wow.
If this is the way I got to use my voice, then this is how I'm going to use my voice.
Exactly.
Just like that one video that my husband captured down there at City Hall with the guy that said, no more money for you. You're lazy. You're lazy.
Oh, I remember that.
My husband captured that and I posted.
Oh, he shot that. Oh, okay.
My husband shot that, but he didn't get credit for that. All these other folks taking credit for it.
Wow. Yeah, because that went viral, Prosperity.
Oh, it sure did. I know that. I got the original video.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Because there's more to that video. But no. And there were even people that, and they know who they are, that knew that we had that video. Remove our information and put theirs on it.
Of course.
Wow. Yeah. I ain't gonna call out names.
They knew that we captured it.
They knew.
So let me call that out while we at it.
Let's do it. Shoot.
Drop those truth bombs.
Yeah, because see, everything in the dark, it's gonna come to light.
Always.
When you're doing others wrong that's trying to help you, then that's gonna come to light. So it's never been my game plan to come down there to harm or hurt anybody. But it has been done.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Ruby made a good point, Prosperity.
Yeah, she
said use watermarks on your video. So if they take
it's on there now. I was new to the game at that point.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, I was new. I didn't know that they were gonna take it and do that. I'm expecting people to use some kind of when we talk about ethics and so forth. But hey, I learned.
Right.
Oh boy.
And it's not like I did it, where people accuse, oh, you did it to get likes and blah blah blah. No, as I'm gonna tell every one of y'all.
Right.
I'm gonna tell every one of these people that's gonna see this video afterwards. When I did any of this, it was to spread the news, to help people that they don't have to go through a lot of this. Not because I didn't get a dime, a penny, or anything for it. And I have no problem who make a living off of this, but that's just not my forte that I had planned for this. Mine was to inform, as I told the same people down there at City Hall, and they know I told them that this is to help people to be informed, to know what these people that are illegal are coming into this country thinking about us, saying to us that people need to see this kind of stuff and be aware of it. I know Philip, that guy you played the other day, Philip Scott, I think that's his name, Scott Philip. Yeah, he plays it to craziness. I know he does.
Yeah, he played it a bunch of times.
But then again, yeah, the source is here, y'all, because I got the original.
She's the one. So we've all seen that video that went viral, but her husband is the one who actually shot the video.
Well, because I'm in the video talking to another young lady. Where my husband panned across. And he wasn't even going to tell me about it. And then he told me, and he said, I got this video. I don't know if you want to use it or not. I said, let me see it. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Right. Like, you lazy. No more money for you.
I'm like, this is going to show Americans what people are coming here talking about and doing towards us. And we're supposed to be using our tax dollars to pay for them.
And they're talking, they're
talking mad crap. You lazy.
Your money. They're taking your money.
Barely can speak English, Tubber.
Y'all saw his shirt? It had a black slogan on that shirt. Something about I can't recall it now. Y'all have to go back and look at it to me, but it was a black slogan. I think it came from the 60s of the Black Panthers, if I'm not mistaken, that somebody had told me.
I need to pull that video up because
I didn't even see it. I was just so focused on him.
Your channel.
Oh yeah, see, I look at everything. That's why I say you got to look at things several times. Don't look at it once. Several.
Let's see.
Because you only gonna catch so much when you look at something one
I was just so amazed. Yo, you lazy. Like, you barely speak English. You lazy. No more money for you.
Taking my money and talking trash.
Talking mad trash.
Oh my God. Unbelievable.
Even Alicia that was on here before, her video went crazy viral because the girl was throwing it down. She was just throwing down. And here's the interesting thing. So I was there that day at City Hall, and I had gotten up and spoken. Several other people gotten up and spoken. Alicia got up and spoke. And I saw Alicia sitting over there, and I was feeling something, but I just didn't know what it was about Alicia that day. And then she got up and spoke, and I'm like, It was her first time. She was amazing. I had to keep watching her video over and over and over. On my channel alone, she got 86 or 88,000 hits.
Oh, wow.
Because people were loving it. The comments were coming in. I'm trying to reply back to people, and it was going crazy. I'm like, girl, she said, girl, ain't no way I can handle it, replying back to all these people. I said, your message it hit home to a lot of people. Really hit home. And that's what I'm talking about, bringing in those facts. She did her homework. She said God led her to speak on those things that I said, I can tell. Because I was moved. I keep watching it to say, I need to put you separate.
Oh, yeah. And I'm trying to, which video? Because like I said, we have so many.
All the way to the beginning, near the beginning. That's when I first started last year.
Okay, so we're going to, because we have so many new people in the chat. They don't know what we're talking about, so we need to share that.
As a matter of fact, that's a part of one that you just saw in there, but go all the way to the beginning for the one that I'm talking about, because I did a clip of his recording. I didn't do the whole recording. Because back then, you can only do 1 minute when it came down to shorts. Now they're at 3 minutes. And I got something else to tell you all about this thing when they shadow banned you that I had went and read too.
Okay. All right, let me see.
That's that video, No More Blue, No Matter Who, that got started up there at City Hall.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's what that slogan I said, no more blue, no matter who. And then the rest of the folks that were saying, go red, go red.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
go back up a little bit. Just a little bit. Because that's when I was
all right.
Going.
Yeah, because I watched it.
No, come back down.
Okay. This one? No. Okay.
No, I was up there speaking live.
All right. Yeah.
So wait. Is that it right there? Because I know it's there.
What's the name of it?
Illinois Vote Board. No, that's not it. That's the homeless man.
Right.
I'm probably gonna have to go in here and try to see if I can find it. I know it's on there. It's near
I've seen it. I've seen it, but you've released so many. I can't keep up with you.
I know. Yeah, because I was out working on protesting in the neighborhoods. Yeah, it's got to be before that one. I'll locate it.
Okay. Yeah, it's on here. But yeah, I remember.
It's a short. Go. Oh, I know what it is. Go under shorts.
All right, I can get you.
No, yeah, go up there. There it is. Yep, and now scroll down. That's why we're not seeing it in there. I remember it was less than a minute. And now go near the beginning.
All right. Do we see it here?
You're not at the beginning yet.
All right. Okay, this is the beginning here of shorts.
No, that's the end. That's near the end. The beginning, you got to scroll all the way.
That's right. What am I thinking here? Yeah. So if you're enjoying this content, folks, hit that like button and please subscribe to her channel.
Wait.
Here it is right here. I found it.
Okay.
I found it. This is it.
Okay.
So this is what they think about you, but they're using your money.
You working. No more money for you.
All power to the people.
No more money for you. Bye. Go back. No.
That's me right there.
No more money for you. It's lazy. You lazy. No more money for you. No more money for you.
Now, what does the message say on that video?
This is for power to the people.
Okay, that was what he had on his shirt. But my message was, listen to that illegal about our money and people stereotype. This is for Chicago older people. And that's the reason why I posted it, to hear what you supported.
That's right.
Yeah. And
so again, how are you going to take my tax money and then talk trash to me and tell me I'm lazy? and this stupid mayor trying to get $300 million. They've already spent millions and millions, probably into the billions.
Right.
And I'm supposed to be on board with this, and you coming over here breaking the law and talking trash to me, and you're using my money, but I'm lazy.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Right.
Exactly.
And this is what I'm supposed to be on board with and vote for.
And that journalist that was calling Brandon Johnson's wife by her first name.
Yes.
How he called it out, that what you're looking to try to get is what you basically has spent.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I played that Blacks, and we did that video. I played that, and he was not disrespect. Call her first lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just doing that was just a distraction. That's all, because he didn't want to answer them questions.
That was a power play.
Exactly.
Dude, he did not disrespect his wife. When you're addressing her, call her. Yeah, so we see where your priorities are, and they're definitely not with your constituents.
Now, let me tell you what I had learned a couple of weeks ago when I was in midst of my research. Why are these videos, when you have the subscribers that you have, are not being seen by your subscribers? Okay. Right. So when it comes down to Trump, they limit it to so many that you can post a day. Otherwise, they don't send out a notification.
And that's been happening. Yep.
So that's one of the things that Trump had mentioned in one of his conversations, that he's going to have that kind of thing addressed.
Good.
Yeah, we've been talking about that because, see, I have people drop in the chat all the time. I didn't get a notification, or they're not, or they've been unsubscribed from the channel. And I always say, hey, that's a YT thing. I have nothing to do with that. So we know, depending on the content, and Blackson and I were talking about this the other day. If you're one of the big time YouTubers, it's not going to affect you because every time you drop a video, thousands of people jump on at the same time. So the logarithm will be triggered. Someone like me, someone like Blackson, someone like you, we have smaller channels. So you've shadow banned us, or don't really have our video there where it's being suggested. It affects our channels.
Right. Yeah. And I like I said, even going back to City Hall, more real news. He and I, we did a collaboration. He called some exciting information with that conversation with Brandon Johnson, talking all that game that we know is not true. Yeah. Because first of all, I kept prove it. That's what, you know, that's would be my answer response. Prove it that you stopped the buses from coming in. You ain't stopped them planes from coming in, trains and automobiles. Okay. You may have diverted the buses somewhere, but those other counties in Illinois, oh, they'll tell you. They told them, get your butt right back on that highway, or you get on that train and you head right on down to Chicago. Right. Because you can't stay here.
No.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know where you're going, but you're not going to stay here. Yeah. They did one of those, that place out there where Obama got a house off on that island.
Martha's Vineyard. I did a video on that.
Wait a minute. They didn't even do a Martha's Vineyard. They didn't even give them a little go away pack. They said, get out.
So they telling us to deal with this. Yeah, that bus went up there to Martha's Vineyard. They didn't even let us get off the bus. They turned that bus right around. Deuces. But you telling us, he's out here, you're going to vote for someone who's done nothing but denigrate you? This is unacceptable. It obviously is unacceptable to you as well. That bus, they weren't even allowed. That bus went to Martha's Vineyard. Slammed on the brakes. So you tell them again, the elites, you want me to deal with something you're not willing to deal with. No, ma'am, no, sir, and I'm not.
Exactly.
But I think it's very telling, Prosperity, what you said, your feelings from the get-go in reference to Brandon Johnson. And look at all of the evil that has befallen Chicago and the period of time that he has been your mayor. And those of you just coming into the chat, she recall the what was it? What was the website?
Recallthisfall.com.
Recallthisfall.com. I had it up earlier. Check it out. She cannot do all this work alone.
No, there are actually, and you know what? I'm gonna say there's actually legitimate people whose hearts are in the right place, which I would love to see them get any kind of position in the political organizations that are out here, that I know that would do a wonderful job, because they have been true to the game since I met them.
Oh, wow.
So I would definitely stand behind them. And then there's those I won't. And I'm just gonna keep it real.
Right, yeah.
I can't with these people. And I don't know how you're able to, and I'm gonna show this other video here because unbelievable. This man, let me show you this video. I still cannot, the audacity of this man. Thank you, Ruby. Ruby just dropped the link. How you doing, Laurie? Those of you just joined in the chat, hit the like button. Also, Ruby just dropped the link for thisfall.com. Get him out of Chicago. All right, here we go. Let me share this again. You have American citizens starving, can't pay rent, homeless. And this report, and so just so you know that the three of us aren't up here making this stuff, you can't make this stuff up.
And before you start with that one, let me just give you a little insight to that. So, there is a Black journalist news organization, Deep South Press Corps, and you've seen Mark on here a few times into the chat. Mark is actually at these meetings with the press, and he knows this person as well, William Kelly. And I know that something is supposed to be coming up soon with them, so that's going to be some real great footage that will need to be looked at. They both gonna bring it,
right? And we want them to continue to bring it. We sure do. So again, your constituents, the people who voted for you, are in a bad way economically, and we see where your priorities are. This video is sickening. It really is. Watch this, folks.
Very alarmed that at a time when Chicago is clearly fighting for its financial survival, that you're out of state campaigning for Kamala Harris. You are defending Little Dirk. This is your priority. You and your wife, Stacy, have a 200 plus CPD police security detail when real Chicagoans are obviously afraid and victims of violent crime. And of course, they feel that you are taxing them into financial slavery to pay for migrants. The exact amount of this tax increase that you're proposing is, I think, to the penny, what you've already given to one of the migrant vendors. The migrant vendor named Favorite Healthcare Staffing, not to mention all the other migrant vendors. Wouldn't it make more sense for your tax increase to simply be called a migrant tax on Chicagoans?
If you could just do me a favor, the next time you refer to my wife, refer to her as the First Lady. I prefer that you not remain so familiar with her that way.
Right.
Okay. Somebody needs to just throat punch him. I'm saying. I'm speechless. Prosperity, please say something. I can't with him. I can't.
So this is not the original way that this was recorded. It was actually a picture in the picture. Right. I purposely edited this so that you can have a close-up of Brandon, so you can look at his face, look at his body language, look at how uncomfortable that he is standing there.
Right. Well, I'm saying what people are in a bad economic situation, homeless, can't buy gas, food, and you see where his first priority. What's the first thing he said?
His First Lady. Don't call her by her first name, because I don't care for another man to become basically like intimate with her, something like that.
Oh my,
right.
Yeah.
Woo, okay. I've calmed down.
I would like to say help is on the way, but I don't think it is.
All right, here it is.
But the kind of help that is on the way is coming for sure.
Right. Oh my.
Not the one that he won't.
No.
Okay.
The First Lady and you have a security detail of 200 plus.
Thank you. I've heard your question. Just saying thank you for respecting my wife that way.
Right.
As far as the detail is concerned, there are 4 mayors. The detail operation reflects all of the mayors, past and present. The particular portion of my detail is not the size of which you described. I believe it's less than 30 or so. That there are shifts that are ran, and like every other mayor, that detail is appropriated according to. Again, what every other mayor has had. As far as what this budget is about investing in people And what's clear in this budget is that we are investing in youth and workforce at a time in which, unfortunately, there has been a great deal of real mean-spirited attacks against young Black and brown children.
When you say mean-spirited attacks against young Black youth,
yeah, so
are you talking about the carjackers or the armed robbers? What I mean, or are you just talking about every young Black child in the city of Chicago? I'm not sure what you're referring to.
You're not?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. Well, there's Black and brown children in this city who I'm going to invest in,
and they're dying in larger. They're being shot and murdered. I'm sorry. And
thank you for your question.
Why aren't you worried about their safety?
Thank you for your question.
Have you? Are you enjoying your raise? Any chance of giving us a comment?
Mr. Kelly, please.
What? What?
And she was being called to be removed.
It seems.
Which one was
that one right there with the glass? Oh yeah.
What's her official position?
I know she's assisting him some kind of way, whatever, but I really did not get into her role. I just heard that they were out because she ended up calling the cops a effing pig.
Ooh. And they just all received raises. So he's just asking, well, how do you feel with your raise? And they look very uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. Because he's gonna call it.
Oh my God. Oh.
It's like there's a real pattern in the Johnson administration of members of his administration making outrageous comments like your pigs comment. Have you?
Mr. Kelly.
Yes.
Please give her a moment.
Give her a moment. There are police officers who are committing suicide. They're not, and we have a lot of police officers that are quitting. We're very understaffed.
Yeah. So that's what they're up against in Chicago. You're going to work for the public. You can't turn it on and off. He was just asking he was not being facetious. He was just asking basic questions. They all looked uncomfortable.
And rightfully so.
Right. Oh my goodness. Music therapy. It's scandalous. If they can't represent U.S. and legal citizens, step down. Music therapy, they represent everyone except but American citizens. And that's the problem. That's the problem for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Brandon.
With your money.
Right.
Right.
Make it make sense. Hit that like button, folks. This is something. So when are they actually voting on? So you won so far as the $300 million property tax increase. We want to know when they're having that vote for the $150 million property tax increase. And can we stop that too?
So every day they appear to be every day, like during the week, and they even had one on a Saturday as well, are having that finance meeting because they're still trying to get their thoughts and their opinions and what they believe, being they, aldermen, are able to recommend to Johnson to get him to get off of this hitting the citizens up, because the citizens just don't have it. They constantly raising the property taxes. They say they're not going to raise it, but they raise it. I know. I own a home. I know. And I'm constantly down there giving them bleep because they already know, just like, again, I'm advising people who are here in Chicago that you need to watch your property descriptions. Right. And making sure that they are accurate, because what they'll do is they'll put in false information. Oh, wow. And I busted them out on a few occasions. I fought back from 2013, 13. Finally got reimbursed for 2018, 19. 20, 21, and 22 came in the day I was down there giving them the number down there at City Hall. finally.
Oh,
but then what they do is they went and changed my property description so that the value can appear higher. Like I put in these new additives into the home when we got a property right next door that just had a full major rehab and dropped their property taxes because they're not really Americans.
Oh wow!
Oh, goodness. No.
Folks, you see the game. She's telling you the game.
Mm-mm.
When you better listen, folks. Listen.
So we go down there. My husband, I told him, I said, come on down here with me so you can see what I be dealing with.
Oh wow!
We go down there, and then they see me, know who I am, because I keep giving them the drama every year. I want my money. Where's my money? I ain't like these other folks that don't care. They may not care, or they may care, but you got to do something about it and not just complain about it. You got to be right down there on them. While we were down there that last time, there was another man and a lady. I don't know what their relations were, but he was complaining about the same thing happened to his property where they changed the property description.
Oh my God.
And that increased the property value. So then I hear her say, after I'm having words with one of the guys back there, just change it where it doesn't affect the assessment. I said, oh, hell no. See, that's the problem right now. So you thought I didn't hear that.
Woo!
So now security, call security.
Right.
Because see, when you keep messing with my stuff, I'm gonna mess with you.
Right.
And one thing too, I'm gonna let y'all know, the assessor's office and the board of review, they are enemies. They don't like each other. Those two offices, they clash.
Oh wow.
But see, I stand with the board of review because the board of review is more reasonable.
Right.
They'll try to address your issues, whereas the assessor's office be like, well, it goes through this channel where they do this and they do that. I said, give me your lawyer's business card, because you mean your lawyer gonna be having a conversation. So you got to stay on them, and you got to let them know that you know something, then to say, hey, y'all increase my property value. You increase my property taxes. No, you get houses just like yours, and you get those PIN numbers and run them down to them. Oh, this one says that it has this description. So why are you putting my property at this amount and mine, theirs is down here? You got to go through that.
So let me be clear. I want to make sure I'm understanding this properly, so that everyone in the chat, so we're all on the same page. So for your property, when they tried to increase your property, and you said something about it, right? You said you had a neighbor, and they didn't increase their property tax.
Nope, went down.
But they're not American citizens, correct?
They don't. Some of them can't even speak English.
She just dropped a truth bomb. You don't see what's going on here, folks. They're trying to raise Americans' property taxes
so that she can pay for her neighbors. Yeah,
exactly. And then when she can't pay her taxes, guess who gets her house? The city of Chicago. Then guess who's going to be living in there next? More illegals. You can't make this stuff up.
Not in this house.
Right.
Because that's why I said we fight for ours.
Right.
We gonna stand for ours.
If you don't, who will?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
They're gonna hit people who don't speak up. That's why I told y'all I got a refund from 2018, 19, 20, 21. And then the day I went down there and blasted Brandon Johnson, 22.
Man, woo.
Woo!
And they tell you they only can go back 3 years. Does that sound like 3 years to you?
That's more than 3.
Way more.
That's what I'm saying.
Core math.
Know your stuff.
Woo! Ruby said it's a Ponzi scheme.
It is a Ponzi scheme. Yeah, Ruby's right about that. Yeah. Dang.
Stick it to the American taxpayer.
And then we're supposed to come out of our pockets and pay more taxes,
Right.
property taxes. You lost your everlasting man, okay? That's what you lost when you think that we're going to come out of our pockets and pay more into this. So now here's where we're at. We're at the $150 million that Brandon wants to try to charge us. And the aldermen are saying, nope, The alderman also went and hired a company that does surveys. And the surveys had gone out to many of the residents, constituents, and so forth. And it came back that if you raise our property taxes, I think it's about 78%, you might as well count yourself out of a job. Now, that's I told you they get 6 figures. They get 6 figures, and they up for a 4.1% increase raise in 2025. And that's what I was talking about down there when I was speaking on the mic that day. I was holding that paper with those facts. I got all y'all names, all 50 of them. I know who didn't.
She did.
Yeah.
I know who getting paid from the CTU, how much you done got paid. And that's why I said to Brandon that this is what we know of. You heard me say no.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Miss Prosperity, you called him Brandon. Shouldn't you address him Mayor Brandon Johnson?
Rolling guy jokes. That's weird.
Excuse me, Miss Prosperity. Could you please be a little more respectful when you're addressing your mayor, ma'am? Please, ma'am.
Can you tell me when you've seen ice and hail?
Oh my God! Woo, I know she's calling. She's gonna get me when we get off. She's gonna call me some bad words.
No. Cause see, I'm gonna do what I still do. No, nothing gonna change. You are the first time I got there, Brandon Johnson, mayor. I had to vote for you to be my mayor.
Woo! God, Florida is rolling.
And then I get them scriptures sometimes thrown at me. Well, you know, you're supposed to pray for your leaders.
Oh, Lord.
Well, let me tell y'all something.
Uh-oh.
Because I had to tell some family this.
Uh-oh.
When a leader leading your aid to hell, you better cut that off.
That's right.
Because see, that's where people take the Bible and misconstrue it and think that you are supposed to pray all these wonderful things over this person. No, you pray that person right on over to God and you follow the laws of God, right? Not them.
That's right.
Because these people are leading you to condemn. See, there's a thing called conviction and condemnation.
Right.
And conviction is to help you to change your ways without trying to hurt you. Condemnation is what Satan does.
Right.
You know you did that. You're going to get it. Yeah, and I'm ratting you out. I'm going to tell on you so that you can get struck down by lightning.
Yep.
That's the difference.
Facts. CJ Park said Brandon Johnson thinks he's the emperor of Chicago.
You're the emperor, all right. Just not in Chicago.
Oh my God.
And it's like I said, okay, so let me go back to the things about, you know, when you talked about these colors. So back in April, this wonderful idea came to me to make red shirts. No more blue.
No matter
who, after that little jingle thing came out that we created down there. Okay. Yep. So I created these red shirts, and my goal was to give them out for free, which I did, took the time to make them, and give it out to whomever wanted to wear them. Even some that got them didn't wear them, but they still got it. Okay.
Right.
I wanted to just see his reaction. It wasn't to say, you know, like, I hear this thing going around basically that we're not a group, we're not a team, we're not an organization, we're not this, we're not that. You know, hey, I ain't trying to join none either, folks. So hello. Because see, I'm going to work with those who want to work on the same initiatives without stepping on each other.
Right.
Okay? Let me post that, record that, and play it back. Now, but those red shirts were designed so that we can send a message, because if everyone had looked at their shirts There was something different about those shirts. Some of them were hand-painted art. Some of them were press-on art. So therefore, I wasn't trying to get everybody to look like they were just as of one.
Right.
It's that we're there for the same causes. So that's why those red shirts came out, when the question of what happened with that. And then now y'all see all with one slogan on it. I'm not involved with the one slogan shirts, y'all.
Okay.
I'm involved with the shirts that show you as an individual that is doing something for a common cause, but not as no team, group, organization, collecting dollars, any other fund me's, any of that. No, that's not what my cause was about. If anything I put into it, I did not extract out of this. So it wasn't my purpose to go in trying to look for what I can get. No, gimme, and me.
Right,
No,
right.
It was about helping others to become noticeable with their message and what delivery they had out there. And that was the same purpose when some others had come down there to do recordings,
right,
and put it out there for the media. And then a lot of the bigger platforms were using their media, and that's how you all became aware of a lot of them. Beyond the big channels that were down there doing the recording, because my first recording was December 14th, even though I had been going down there since the first.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when I got on that mic and started talking to Brandon Johnson about the neighborhoods and how I'm here and I stated it when I first started off. I'm here representing Brighton Park. I'm here representing East Morgan Park. I'm here representing Austin. I stated what I was up there for. I'm speaking on the behalf of those who were not on that mic. So I want to stay true to my game and not have somebody think or believe they're going to derail me to their game. Because it is about us. It's no one person that can do anything.
Nope.
And if one person that went up there to that meeting that day, to that voters board, that one person was being used by God, because I can't do that by myself.
Nope.
It would only take him and that man to tell me what he said after it was done with, and then give the results. The results came at the end of January. I remember that very well. So yeah, it's people working together that have a common cause, that want to not try to take any kind of credentials of the leadership or all that other stuff. It's people that is being affected, impacted, and so forth by the things that are going on here in the city. And me, myself, and I could not sit back and just watch this happen to people when I'm working in an occupation that I'm getting paid royally to solve their problems and find them opportunities. But yet my folks over here getting hurt. So why am I going to sit back and not do nothing?
Yep.
And I've been blessed to be able to not work and deal with a lot of this while I'm dealing with other things, of course, because this ain't the only thing. I got a whole major load of other stuff that really has a high platform that I'm working on. But the thing is that I wanted people to be able to see. And I didn't want it to happen to the point where it got to hit your pockets, make you homeless, make you hungry, or any of that. It's like doing something after the well runs dry. Why we got to wait till a well run dry in order to wake up, in order to look at it and see with our own eyes? We all see the same thing.
Got that right.
Some have discernment, some don't have discernment because they're not trying to have discernment. But all of us are given a spirit, and God communicates with us all. Yep. Even from a childhood, when they want to try to blame that, oh, they were born like this and born like that. Now, some things you weren't born like. Then there are some things you were born like.
Right.
But the point is that when we keep closing our eyes to the truth,
I'm
not talking facts now. I'm talking truth. Truth comes from God. And he shows us things. But when we want to ignore it, that's on us. That's our fault. But then when those who do see it and the others who don't, those who do got to pay the price. It's just relocating from California, New York, or Chicago down to a Republican state, and then you bring your ways down there, but you're running from the problem.
You destroy your state and then you move to a new state and you're still voting blue to destroy that state. Exactly. Make it make sense.
It don't make sense.
So this hopefully,
yeah.
This hopefully, and it's not no certain groups going up there saying No. There's been input from multiple sources, and whether they want to drop off certain other people, okay, you do you. But the point is, people see what's going on. What's in the dark does come to light. And it does come to light.
And it always.
So unfortunately, I had to go down that path, but you know what? This has been building for a hot minute. That it needs to be it needs to be done. This just needs to be addressed and needs to be done with, because at the end of the day, we got the problems with our residents. And don't just think because if you don't own a property, this don't impact you.
Right.
This is going to hit the renters even worse.
Tell them, please explain, please.
Because landlords are not in the business to give you free living.
No.
They're in the business to make a profit. So if the money's not coming in, you know what's going to happen. So this needs everybody on board, one way or other. Nobody says you got to come down there to City Hall or whatever, but call those aldermen and tell them. I don't care if you don't own a property. Tell them we don't want any more taxes on our citizens. No way, no how. Don't do it. Otherwise,
I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people, when you and me, we talked earlier on the telephone. A lot of people think, oh, I don't own a property, that's not going to bother me. Newsflash: if they raise the property taxes, guess what? The homeowner, he's passing that on to you. Your rent, you can't pay the rent's already too high. Guess what? Your rent's going up. So like you said, people better get on board and listen to what you're saying. And Thor said that he said, I always like this lady. She's the real deal. That's why we keep bringing her on, Thor. That's why she keeps coming back.
She doesn't lying about it. No sense of lying about it. Receipts.
Always. She always brings the receipts.
I have to, even in my occupation, because if I need to convince the stakeholders and the stake owners of a solution, I need to show them why and how I got to that solution.
Yep.
It's I think you should do this. Why? Because I feel that way. No, that's not good enough. You think they're going to take me in a multi-million-dollar business and say, oh, we're going to take you at your word. You better produce some facts, some tickets, some proof of what you talking about. That's why I'm into the research part and bring it down there to City Hall. Mm-hmm. And that's why I told them, when I come up here, I come with the facts. Now, the police officers down there told me next time you wear your shirt, you need to put, I come with the facts on it.
That's right.
I'll consider that.
Oh, wow. That is, I'm saying.
It's hard. It's a job. It's work. It's no kid you work. But I am just asking that you all share this with everybody about contacting your alderman. If you are here in Chicago, contact them, because they even said they want to hear from us. Because that's why they went out and paid to get the survey done, because they want to bring that back to Brandon and show him this is what the people are saying.
Right.
Now, if you don't want to listen to the people, now you're talking about my money.
Exactly.
And we got 14 plus now that's on board with us. I told you I'm busy, man. 14 plus. Better be emerging. Call your son. 14 plus aldermen that are on board with us. And it's generally the same ones, that was against the sanctuary city.
Oh, wow.
Oh yes, and then we get some more that's coming on board as well. And then we got those flip-floppers, and we got those who's riding the fence. You know what? That message that I spoke last time that I was down there.
We put, yeah,
fence riders.
You got the names and numbers.
Okay, you want to ride the fence? Let me give you some reason to get off the fence. Along with some of the other comments that others had made. Okay. So, but mine was to make sure that they understand that I'm down here. It's not about play. It's about don't mess with my money.
Right. And
now, you don't drive me. You have to drive money. But when you got somebody stealing it, that's another story.
Yes.
And this is theft.
Oh,
so
wow.
that's why when
that's highway robbery without the gun.
Okay.
As Ruby said, a Ponzi scheme. It's a shakedown.
It's stick up highway robbery.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I said, no, I can't sit back and just think that this is going to be acceptable without opening my mouth. Like my dad used to always tell me, we ain't going to close that mouth. Never. When I became, I used to be an introvert. Now, extrovert, you can forget it now because I ain't never going back intro.
Whoop. Yes, what do you think? Okay, since you're there beating the bushes, you're there every day.
Not every day, but
I mean, you're there in Chicago.
Yeah, okay, in Chicago. Yeah.
What's the pulse? With so far as the recall is concerned, do you feel that you will gain enough people, get enough people on board to make it a reality?
Yes. Okay. So there's been people just almost religiously going out and getting signatures.
Okay. That's what
and then also on my articles where they have an opportunity to write back in. And I'm not talking about YouTube, I'm talking about some articles that I have posted, as well as some video posts that I have put out there because I use multiple platforms to get that out as the news.
Right.
There are people that still asking, where can I get this from? When can I get it? How can I get it? How long is it going to take to get this done? So we have people who are truly interested in getting this done because they have felt the impact of it. So the pulse is strong.
Okay.
Strong.
No.
Just that by the time that Dan Bolin had introduced this, and then by the time of the election, we didn't have enough time because that just came really into fruition this year. And trying to get people to sign on to, and then people are less trusting as well because they've been, ripped. They just been taken advantage of. You know, a lot of these people voted that person into office, and then they're watching him, giving all these thousands of dollars to people who never invested a penny. Oh, y'all check out that video that I got up there, and I talked about the Social Security and everything else for them older people. Oh yeah, there's another one up there that I ripped into them down there at City Hall about, because I said, y'all not gonna be stealing my money. I mean, I went a little postal there, but I was angry.
You're tired of them stealing your money. You're tired of them stealing your money.
Right. Because I donate and I tithe, and I'm constantly, and when I say my husband and I, we're a single entity. So we're doing that on a regular. But for somebody to come take it is another story.
That's a total different story.
And you're going to do this because I said so.
Oh, no. And we're not.
$250,000 security detail that Brandon Johnson got, that he's our taxes are paying for. $250,000, and I gotta believe that gotta be a month. It gotta be a month. It can't be a year. Because you got all these police officers surrounding him for protection.
Yeah.
That's why that reporter he said something about it. He's like, what about all the kids dying in the street? He don't care anything about those kids that are killing people.
No. He keep going this black and brown. I want to make sure that our black and brown children, these kids, their scores are pathetic.
Yeah.
He's so concerned about that. If he was so concerned about that, he would have his aide. Well, I think it was a 4th grade teacher that he was. And from what I heard is that it wasn't that he volunteered to leave the job. So, whatever. I don't know the full fact of that. But again, and not that I looked into it, all I do know is that when I looked into his background, and the only reason I really looked into his background after I already decided I wasn't going to vote for him is because I came across this executive order 2023-16. That's the executive order. Y'all can look it up. Executive order 2023-16, where he stated he gonna put these people in our neighborhoods, which, as what Alicia said, the Black zip codes.
Right.
Now, they weren't expecting no pushback, obviously.
Nope.
But he got a surprise.
Surprise.
He got a surprise because people felt that. And they came out. And I have that one video where I'm down there in line and waiting to get into the meeting. That was the meeting I couldn't get into that day. And I told them bleeps, they need to reimburse me my parking. Hey, I called it out. I want my money back.
That's right.
I don't waste money. See, one thing you will learn is that when you making money, people don't go throw it up if you know how to use your money wisely.
Right.
You spend it wisely. You use it wisely.
Yeah.
And that day, while I was standing in that line to try to get into the meeting they claimed was filled up, that this one person started the chant of recall Brandon. And I said, let me get this one here, and trying to capture who started this one up. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Now we talking. But see, like you said, and in these chats, and I tell you, even on my other channels that I post up information where they say, well, you voted for you all voted for this, and I go back and say, all quote,
right?
All
this.
Nope. You don't know anything about how I voted. You don't know how I'm registered and how I've been registered. So I'm not trying to hear all of that. Nope. I'm dealing with this, and I'm trying to hopefully get people on board to see how they can get up out of this rut too. We all get out of this. This is a victory.
That's right.
It's not about just one person or a few people that's doing well. We all need to be doing well.
Right.
So that's why I'm just trying to be an advocate. That's basically what I'm doing.
And that's all you can do. Again, I am hoping and praying that this recall, I don't know. Do you know what's the date, the slated date for the possible recall?
It appears that we're probably not going to get to that until what I put in the chat, 2026.
Oof. Oh, damn. So a year before he's up. Jeez.
Yep.
Wow.
But that's just that mechanism. Now we don't know what's on the horizon from other places in past, because I hope he gets in Holman's way.
Because he won't. He's a coward. I can look at him and tell he's a coward. Yeah, a lot of them they talking all that stuff, prosperity. They don't want none of that.
They don't want that smoke.
No.
Let's talk about 8 USC 1324 law. That's what I'm gonna be rapping on tomorrow. Let me get if the Lord have them to call my number, like the first time I tell y'all, this is a little testimony. So the first time that I went down there to try to speak, not just go down there, but to speak.
Oh yeah.
And I said, okay, I got all this stuff prepared that I want to talk about. I need to do it in 3 minutes. Okay, Lord. And I literally said this standing there because I told you I do pinpoint prayers. I said, okay, Lord, if you want me to speak, then you're going to have them call my number. When they got to the 8th person, they called my number. And I'm like, yes. Okay, Lord. Now, when I get up there to speak, give me what to say. I know I got this. I tell you, I guarantee you, I didn't know what I said up there until after it was done.
Oh, wow.
I did not know because I was so in the zone of getting feed from the Holy Spirit. Say this, and I had the 3 minutes to do it. And then when I got back to my seat, I just got these text messages, and people were like, yeah, you did great. And I'm like, what did I say? So I waited to hear back, and I'm like, oh, okay, that was good, but that was not me, because I did not recall. And when you do public speaking at times, you really are trying to be in tune to what you're getting up there to talk about. That's why you come up there with the paper.
Right.
I came up there with the paper, but I'm going to tell you what I came up there with the paper for was not what I was directed, because I asked God to lead me in what you want me to say. What am I to speak on? What am I to say to this man? Because I already come up here with an attitude. I ain't going to lie. I had an attitude. I'm already mad because I got to come up here. First of all, I don't like going downtown. I used to tell people that all the time. Went to school and worked down there. Don't care to go down there. So if I'm going down there, I'm coming down there for a cause, not just so that I'm just wasting and blowing off time.
Yeah.
It's a purpose. And I when I go down there, I plan to accomplish the purpose.
Right.
There's no point of going down there, paying to go down there, dealing with the traffic on top of that, dealing with everything else, and then you don't get nothing accomplished. That to me is a wasteful day. And I don't like my time being wasted.
No, because you have too much to do.
So yes, the people call your alderman. You're here in Chicago, call your alderman. I would like to say people out the state and city and county call them
too. About that. but people, those of us who do not, I was going to ask you about that too, because I know you and some people you've been working with are working hard. But what about those of us who do not live in Chicago? What would you suggest? What can we do?
You know, the biggest thing that I always recommend, pray for us. Okay. Pray to give us strength, wisdom, which is going to give us guidance, and that strength is going to give us endurance.
Okay.
To deal, because we're not fighting flesh and blood. We're fighting wickedness, evil in dark places.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only reason why things are happening. Not because somebody think they went up there and blew the mayor away. The mayor could care less.
Right.
This is a work of God. And when people start giving God credit, maybe they start seeing bigger results.
Facts.
But that's not what I'm hearing. Y'all know who y'all are.
Wow. This has just been awesome. Every time that you come on the show, it's enlightening, it's informative, and we just learn more and more. And you're definitely in our prayers. If you, all of you who enjoyed this chat, let me see some fire emojis in the chat
and lift them up.
Yes,
lift them up.
Oh wow! I will let's put some and there everyone is just saying prayers for you in Chicago.
Thank you.
Thor said this lady honestly needs a seat in the Senate.
I love the job that I do, so I'm gonna be sticking with my occupation.
No,
still solving problems.
Ma'am, we need you to do. We need you to go to the Senate. Oh wow! This has been great. Parting shots, Blackson. What would you like to say?
Yeah, I learned a lot today. Thank you, Ms. Prosperity, because it's like, you know, that was, man. You made some major moves, and like I said, I'm just still shocked that you're the only person there protecting your right to vote. And so, yeah, just keep your eyes and ears open, because it seemed like you're the only one that's on the forefront. I mean, like you said, I think somebody said in the chat, I think it was Roger Hunter said, everybody wants the glory, but nobody wants the responsibility. So,
yeah. And that's true. Now you have to promise to come back. Are you going to the city council this week as well?
Yes, tomorrow.
Okay. So now what do you hope to accomplish tomorrow? Because we might have to get you back on here next Sunday.
Well, I'm going to be interacting with the aldermen, because they are the ones that's going to have a deciding factor with the mayor. They are the mini aldermen, like I call them. So be aware of your role, which some of them are new, some of them been there for a long time, but sometimes you need a reminder.
Right.
About you represent us.
Right.
That's why the one alderman came to me after that last time. He said, "You something else." I'm just trying to remind y'all. This is what you're here for.
Sometimes you have, and sometimes you have to, like you said.
Got to.
So yes, that's one of my responsibilities. I also got some other things I need to manage down there as well.
Okay.
But that's definitely one of them. And I'm looking to meet with Mr. George Blakemore.
Okay.
Mr. George Blakemore, he is the path setter, that's what I'll call him, for what was all possible down there, because he's the one that started a lot of this. He's the one that educated people. The man got a brilliant brain.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Blakemore likes attention too. Let me add that part. And he knows, I know that. But he's brilliant. And I do rely upon him as well. So that's why I said it's not just me. I will never take the credit, but I will give credit to those who are worthy, that are worthy of receiving it, and not just there to gain glory.
Right. And she's been talking, Miss Prosperity's been talking about Mr. Blakemore forever. She, those of you, Blackson and everyone in the chat, she's going to go help him with some technology. He's coming on the show eventually. We just got to, Miss Prosperity is going to have to help him. He is an
83 years, I think about 83 years young now.
Yeah. So,
but he Facebooking, so y'all can find him out there on Facebook.
Yes. Yes.
He does it live.
Right. He does lives on Facebook. What's his George Blakemore?
George Blakemore. Blakemore. And George with a G. He streams live down there. And he gonna keep it 100. He gonna just speak. He's an advocate for his people, because he sees that a lot of our people are trampled upon, but he's one that's going to speak real truth. He's not going to hold back. And that's why I want to get him on here. I want him to speak from his wealth of wisdom, experience, and knowledge, because you can always learn something from those who were here before us.
Always.
Try to tell these young whippersnappers that my dad used to call me. You young whippersnapper.
Yes. Ruby, listen. Ruby said, I follow Mr. Blakemore. He is a walking history book.
Okay, Ruby. Okay.
Thor said, you three bring hope, justice, facts, and honesty. Thank you. Thank you for that, Thor. We're trying to help spread the message. As I talked to Prosperity all through the week, we text, and I told her we don't live there, but we are definitely standing with Chicago. We don't like what's going on there either. And as I've often said on this channel, don't sit back and look at someone else's problem. It could happen to you as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Just because you're not a sanctuary city at this time. I told you, this crazy ultra liberal Fayetteville, North Carolina, they voted on this recently, trying to make Fayetteville a sanctuary city. So we can't sit back and say, well, that doesn't affect me, because you don't know what these liberal cities. I know where all the liberal cities are in North Carolina, and they're crazy enough. They see everything that's happened with these other sanctuary cities, and they're crazy. And like I said, I know Fayetteville's ultra liberal. So we have to stand with them, and she's laying the blueprint. She's showing us how it needs to be done, because who knows, we may have to do the same thing one day.
Oh yeah. I would say capture any and everything that you can in the public, of course, because and know your state laws about recording.
Yes,
that's essential. Everybody's state laws are not the same.
Good point. Good point. Oh my God. Thank you for saying that.
But capture what you can, and then educate others. about
Right.
what you're finding. See, we have grown up in households that says what goes on in this house stays in this house.
Right.
And that's the reason why so many people are hurting, because they don't know. But when you know better, now it's time to do better. We don't all have answers, but we can find out. And y'all generation now, the ones below me,
Oh yeah.
because I told y'all I'm old school. I'm in the boomers. Y'all got technology. And I've been working technology for 40 years, but y'all got technology to find things. Whereas I had to get my tail on the bus and get down to the main library to research my information at 8 years old, starting off.
Oh wow.
So y'all got a big advantage over us.
Sure do. Right there on your
technology and find out. And also, don't use one resource when you're trying to come to a conclusion or something. Get multiple resources and then do a consensus. And that way you'll be able to come with your points, your speaking points, your talking points. And this is just not for what I'm doing, but for anything that you're doing.
Yeah.
That then a person will hear you. They will listen to you. And then want more and want more.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But without that, it's difficult to be able to think that it's going to be heard, because it just fall on deaf ears. You're like, yeah. I heard all that before. Yeah, I heard all that before. Okay, well, let's just see the results that you come. Because you know what? As the Bible says, you will know them by their fruits.
And you will. And
when I said get rid of the illegals, you know why that came out like that? Because that's the whooping moments. You know, when you used to get spanked in the pen, go, every word you gonna get this. I wasn't doing nothing but verbally.
Woo!
Let them know. We fed up, been tired, never supported you, won't support you, because I don't believe in you. I saw what you know, and one thing I'm gonna say that I saw Paul Vallis trigger that man in a debate to the point where you could just see the evil come off on his face. And I said, oh, that is, that's the reason. People got to watch those debates. They got to watch them. And anybody that's running for a public office, you got to learn about them. Know about them. Don't just try to, well, it sounds good. It looks good. But is it good?
Right.
Oh yeah. So that's good word there, folks. So Ruby, I think it was music therapy was telling us with that statement you made about research microfiche, and then Ruby saying, "How old are you?" Hey, I used microfiche in college. Well, hey, we're out.
How old am I, or music therapy?
The music therapy was saying you can use microfiche, and Ruby's picking them.
Yeah, because I told you I'm a boomer.
That's all right. Microfiche is good. That was our Google when I was in college. Hey, because keeping it real and that card catalog.
Hey, I can tell y'all when I used to get on the internet and it was like 25 cents a minute. Y'all don't know nothing about that. 25 cents a minute. And I had a laptop, because I told you I worked in technology. I had a laptop and our kids were babies. And I fell asleep with that internet running, because I had the laptop in the bed and I was still just doing my fingers across the keyboard, like click, click, click. My light sleeping husband, he reached over there and turned up like 25 cents. Then it came down to 10 cents a minute. Then it went to unlimited.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Oh my God. This has been wonderful. If you, again, how you doing, Malik? If you've enjoyed this content, Ms. Prosperity, we're going to get out of here. I'd like for you to drop your channel link again. Drop your channel link.
I so appreciate you all bringing me on, because it was just so much hanging in my
Oh my God, this is hilarious.
And I had gone through my phone and my photos, and I had seen all these old things that I had captured, and I was like, wow, I forgot all about that.
That's all right. It's coming back. Malik, how you doing, love? Malik said, wow, what Fayetteville being a military town, I'm surprised. I did something. Malik, yes, but Fayetteville is ultra liberal, dear, and I'm one city over, unfortunately. Yeah, it is a military town. We have Pope Air Force Base and Bragg, but they're ultra liberal, just like Durham, just like Charlotte and a few other places. But yeah, this has been great. If you enjoyed this content, check out Prosperity. She has a channel with some excellent content. If you've enjoyed this today, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Come on back to the channel. Blackson and I will be live again. I don't know what day this week, just depends on what's going on at school. Maybe 2 or 3 days. We'll be live again. Let me see. Music therapy I brought to okay, Ruby. Ruby, you behave.
My chat section is not coming back up right now.
Well, I didn't hear you.
My chat. Oh, okay. It finally came up.
Did it come back?
It came back.
All right. So yeah. So we're going to get out of here. I know some of you are just coming in. So make sure you go back and do the replay. Miss Prosperity gave us a lot of good information, telling us what we can do, telling us what's going on there in Chicago. If you've been on this channel for a while, we've been saying it is not over, that she is still there with some people she's working with. They're still in the fight. They're still trying to hold these people accountable. That's the mayor. That's the city alderman as well. Cha-cha. Thank you, dear. So thank everyone for spending their very valuable time here at the Rollins Reviews YouTube channel.
And thank you all. Really appreciate you taking the time out with us today. This was just great. I am so glad that all were able to attend today. But I need to add one more thing.
Go ahead.
We need to get all these other folks that you were talking about into one big round table on here.
Yeah, I'm ready because I know. Shout out to Jesse. Like I said, the same thing happened in Colorado. So yeah, let's do it. And I know Miss Lynn knows the one sister from New York. So yeah, let's do it. We need to do it.
Yeah. And I talk to Prosperity all the time. So let me know. I'm thinking Saturdays are going to be, the best day. I'm thinking, because I know most of us working through the week, and so we just got to come up with a date and a time, basically. So we'll have to work on that together. Okay. And I've enjoyed this, folks. So
so have I.
We'd like to take this time, Miss Prosperity, to thank you for taking time out of your very busy schedule.
And thank you all.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate it. This was worth taking time from my busy schedule because I'm just going to jump right into it once I get off of here. But it's worth it. It's a little break for me.
Yes. And because we're trying to keep up with what's going on in Chi-Town. Okay, Roger. All of you know it's over for now. But I'm going straight to the comment section, and I'll talk to you as long as you're there. Thank you again for spending your very valuable time here at the Rollins Reviews YouTube channel. See you in the comment section.